There we go. There we go. Got the cup out. So welcome to tonight's episode of Make Some Noise with Doug Jong. That would be me. And tonight we have a repeat with Michelle Dumbrell, and she has brought along some amazing friends. Michelle is instrumental. That's a good word, being instrumental, with a show called Make Some Noise. Instrumental in making things happen for lots of different artists on the Gold Coast and around here. So let's bring in all the guests. Actually, please like and subscribe down here. Like and subscribe. And all the guests that are on tonight, please like and subscribe and share this all over the internet. So here we go. Welcome, Michelle. How are you? How you going?
Hi. Thank you for having me back.
You are welcome. There we go. Oh, we've already got America. There's people tuning in from the States. Hello, Jenny. How you going? There's Sean and
hey.
Felicity.
Hello.
And Teresa, how are you?
Hi,
Teresa.
Doug. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you for joining us. So we might start off with Michelle. I'll just zoom in. If you want to tell us who and what and where you might do your thing.
Oh, okay. So, yes, I'm Michelle. I direct and produce a live talk show on the Gold Coast called The Couch Out Loud. And it's all about bringing the community together. And a big part of it is about highlighting local creatives. A live talk show on the Gold Coast called The Couch Out Loud. Sorry. It's going echoey.
I think that was Felicity. Sorry. Keep going.
Oh, okay. I said, oh my God, I'm hearing something from above. It's like me coming back down to me. And yeah, I really, in the shows, I highlight local musicians and artists because I strongly believe that arts in society is so important because of the situation we're in at the moment. I've started something called Pants Optional Human Books Online.
Yes.
And which a couple of Doug has been a human book and Sean has been a human book and also Teresa has been a human book and Felicity, you're next. And it's just about them sharing. It's about them sharing their story. I just want to show something that I'm feeling a bit relaxed tonight because I have a glass of wine. And it has come directly from this bottle called the Couch Out Loud wine. I know it's a very cool label, which Felicity has received one and before because she's been a guest speaker on the show. So awesome. Yeah, so Felicity actually is like one of the most amazing musicians I've ever seen. She's incredible. She was a guest speaker on the second show of the Couch Out Loud back in November 2016. And then she came on again talking about things besides her music, which is other stuff she does, which she might tell you about, in October last year. And Teresa Franks, who's also a guest on tonight, she was going to be a guest speaker on our March 15th show called Gold Coast Unearthed Artistic Realm, but it had to be postponed, but that will be happening again soon. And Sean, who's the other guest speaker tonight, he was going to be the DJ, but he'll be back DJing when our shows are live again in front of a live audience.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
That's amazing.
That's me.
So we might go over to Sean. If you want to run your intros, here we go, Sean.
Hey, guys. How are we? We're doing all right?
Yes,
We're good. Hey, as Teresa said, yeah, exactly. That's I've come into this great circle of people with the Couch Out Loud. And so my background is being a musician as well. And all of a sudden I'm DJ Sean. So I'm really looking forward.
Yay.
Unfortunately, it's Year of the Beard. And not,
Year of the Beard.
So once we go live, the beard will disappear once again. So, but it's good to be here, and it's great to meet Michelle and the cause that she's got going. Just making that awareness, especially for the local artists, regardless of what art that you have. Michelle's really getting behind everybody and pushing and making it such a good thing.
That's awesome, man. Thank you and welcome. And we'll cross over to Teresa. Here we go. And what might you do and how do you do it?
Yes. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good,
Hello.
good.
I'm Teresa. Yeah, I was planning to be on Michelle's next couch as well, but unfortunately I had better things to do at home. like nothing.
And what do you do?
So-
What do you do?
So we got bored, and you can see that on the Couch Out Loud or YouTube. And so I'm an artist, and I am an airbrush artist predominantly, but I also draw. Here's one of my drawings that I.
We'll come to the art.
Day. Oh, there we go.
Okay, hang on. We are zoomed in. Very good. Are you still there? Are you still with us?
She's right there.
Oh, there we go. That's cool. Welcome. That's all right. That's cool. All right, we're just doing the intros. We'll come and do the art again very shortly. And we have an awesome muso who I just found out who's also teaches music. And we've got to get to the instruments very soon. So Felicity, how are you?
Hello, I'm excellent. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
You also.
So what do you do and where do you do it? And what kind of international? Yes.
I play a mixture of gypsy, Spanish, reggae, everything, all my favourite musics. Lots of original music and some covers and stuff. I play big shows around the Gold Coast predominantly. I used to tour a lot, but now I've just decided to stay local because I got sick of travelling. And I play at a lot of just random places really. And I live off playing music, teaching music and doing healings.
Oh, well, welcome. This is quite sensational. So welcome. I should say I'm a musician as well because actually I had feedback the other day that said because I was interviewing some musicians. They said it'd be good if the host actually played guitar as well. And I was like, yeah, funny that. But anyway. True story. I actually play guitar and I'm addicted to it. But anyway, so maybe first round of questions then. So maybe straight back at we're actually talking about Michelle first. So we'll probably skip Michelle and go to Sean. What has Michelle done that sort of helped you keep you connected with your art? I know you said you're a DJ, etc. But is there any other kind of magic moments that happened connected with the couch? Sean?
I think it's a connection with everyone else. And the Gold Coast it's such a small community. And I think the funny thing is a lot of people will say, and musos, I guess you guys might get this as well. If you're a busy musician, and someone says, have you heard of Teresa? Have you heard of Felicity? Have you heard? You haven't seen them because you're so busy. And when people say to me, have you seen Doug live? Have you seen, and I don't because I'm out. I'm predominantly a soloist, a guitarist, and singer, and so I don't get to see and hear of these other people that are doing sharing music like I do, and so it's moments like this that we can get a chance to meet everybody else and now start experiencing and seeing those things. Social media has helped, obviously. But again, it's those things that Michelle's brought in. It's almost an awareness of the strong group of artists that we do have here on the Gold Coast.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. And what about Teresa being an artist? I think there might be. Is there a little delay there? Is there, Teresa? Or a big delay? Can you hear me, Teresa?
Or frozen.
Oh, we've lost it. Okay, over to Felicity. So
I did say a blink.
Oh, you did. Okay. So maybe Felicity. I don't know what she's doing, but Felicity, you maybe want to just elaborate your experience with Michelle and the couch, how it has helped you do something, or maybe connections. How has the couch influenced what you do as a musician?
Well, doing the first talk show on the couch with her, I don't even know what year that was, a long time ago. I played, it was just a beautiful vibe, but the last one I did at the Hub, is it called the Hub?
Karma Collab Hub.
Karma Collab Hub was just divine. It was, I got to speak and not play guitar, which was awesome. And just share a bit about the healing stuff I do, which is like connected. I do that when I'm performing live anyway, but yeah, individually. So it got me to expand out into like not just being seen as a musician, but also as that whole healing perspective that has, like, I push through my music and individually as well. So it got me to, just sort of, show people like the other stuff I did while still, using a bit of my name to help that along.
Yeah.
So you go, Michelle.
No, I was going to say it's about people say, like with, musicians and artists, they will see what they do, but they don't really know who they are as people and why they are doing what they're doing. And that is what is so important, is to build that personal and emotive connection to why they are where they are. And Felicity and I have spoken about this a lot, and it has a lot to do with growing up as well, and with family values and family connections. We've had lots of talks about this, some lovely talks. So, and that's really important for people to share that, so that people can accept the diversity of why people are where they are and what they're doing. It's such an important story to share. And, it brings a heart more to what they're doing. It's not just a musician playing there. It's not just a piece of art. There is so much more. There are so many more layers to that. And by everyone sharing their stories, which is what the Couch Out Loud is about, that brings the connection to what people are doing.
And what was amazing about that night was that everyone connected so warmly and beautifully. It was like there was, I don't know how many people were there, but it was like beautiful connection. There was counsellors, there was like just such a diversity of people, and we were all like completely open-hearted at the end of the night, sharing experiences, stories. Yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, really beautiful, open-hearted space. Yeah, vulnerable, exactly.
Yeah, vulnerable. And also it's a very safe place to talk, because the audience members that come along are very supportive and are very, open-minded and open-hearted. And, I think I mentioned this last week too, that people, when they talk, it's things they've never said out loud before, ever.
Yep.
And it's been a beautiful experience for them. And I know, Felicity, when you rang me after the last show, which was so lovely, and you said that is something just so magical. But it's you guys up there sharing your story. That's what's actually magical. It's just so lovely. I know people have said it was so cathartic to actually say that out loud. It's quite healing too, like Felicity is with her music as well. What people say is healing for them as well. And people can learn so much in the audience as well, and they can really resonate with what other people are saying. And as Felicity would know, with the question time at the last one too, I was like winding up the host. We've got to cut this down, because so many people wanted to ask questions, which is wonderful. And then the meet and mingle after, people are being approached and trying to drag, the guest speakers away, looking at the time, because I know they have, they need to go home as well. But it's a really beautiful and safe experience. And I can't wait for Sean to be a DJ at the next one. And Teresa, I'm so excited. He has a few surprises up his sleeve, which I can't wait for everyone to see, which is really cool. And Teresa, we can't even get her online now. What's going on, Teresa?
She had ceiling fans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Are you with us, Teresa? Yeah. Can you hear? You might have to stop walking around the house. Just pick one room and stay.
She was filling up a glass of wine.
Teresa.
Hello, Teresa. All right.
Teresa.
Well, maybe. Can you hear us?
What a shame.
Maybe if someone. We can't really text her if we're on our phone. But I don't know. Are you there, Teresa? Can you hear us? Hello, Teresa.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
Hi, I'm having I've got issues with my connection here.
That's cool. Do you want to
That's
talk?
what we're all. I was going to say that's what we're all about, connecting.
All right. Well, we'll come back to Teresa. So maybe if as soon as you hear us, just start telling us about your paintings. As soon as you can hear us. Don't mess with Teresa's mellow.
Oh,
Jenny's.
I heard that bit.
Jenny's in the States.
Just turn me off when you want me to stop because I can't hear you.
Oh.
Okay. Can someone
Hello.
talk about their paintings?
So about my paintings.
Yep.
So I predominantly paint women, and I airbrush and like with a compressor and everything, so I can do cars and bikes and whatever. But I predominantly paint. I like to paint things with women, because women aren't well, and we get a bit of a rough deal. And I think main areas that had when I went to India with my daughter, and just seeing how the women of the world are, I really want to inspire them and to help people get into the art.
It's Nelson. Nelson.
And so.
She's
We've
frozen.
lost her.
We've lost her.
Okay. Okay. Oh, we'll come back. Also, maybe if we go to some straight over to Sean, have you got some show and tell of sorts?
Show and tell. Some of my guitars. Let me turn this light so we can see it. There we go. I've been. Long story short, when I was learning classical guitar, and then discovered that you could play electric guitar, and it was so much cooler. My guitar teacher was.
Say your piece, Felicity.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I still play classical and I love it. But it was my teacher was he was a Gibson player, and I always go against the grain. And basically on that, I jumped over to Fender, which to his dismay, he was disgusted. And I bought a 56 reissue Fender, and it was just a lemon. And you can imagine how well that went down with him. He thought it was the best thing in the world. And I went to Brash's in Brisbane and took I know what it is. Remember that name. And I took the Fender in. It had a nice tweed case, and I walked in and pretty much said, I don't like this guitar. Can I swap it for another one? I'd not swap it. I'll trade it in. And they had an Ibanez guitar. And I walked in and I said, oh, how much? Cool. And he's looked at me and he goes, do you really want to swap this for this guitar? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I'll give you $50 in the guitar. And I went, done. And that was because I didn't start playing guitar till I was 17, so I was quite a late starter. And I have not played or owned any other electric guitars since then. So, and the Ibanez, because I've got little hands, the Ibanez, the neck and the wizard necks, and they suit my hand really well. And then all of a sudden, Crossroads comes out with Steve Vai. I'd never seen this guy, and my path on having a guitar hero was him. And then all of a sudden he came out with a gem, and I was teaching guitar at up in Brisbane in a music shop, and they brought out the floral came in, and that was my first that was my first gem that I owned. And I haven't owned another type of guitar since then but the gem series. And this is that's my latest edition that I have.
Wow.
So it's a beautiful guitar. I still have I think that's set 2017.
Wow.
I think it's 2017. So that was the last one I bought. Then the one prior to that was the Seafoam Blue. And again, there we are.
Very good.
Let me come.
It's back to front.
Yeah. So all the Tree of Life stuff. Yeah, it's and I'm just so used to playing them now. And I still have, because I had the first model gem which had the pyramid inlays, and the monkey grip that you see now here, which is that that sort of gripped handle. That was just a smooth hole until the Flora came out and had the actual grips in the hand.
Yeah, very good.
I still have that guitar, but the original guitar. But I was in the UK around about 91 or 92, and I dropped it and broke the neck on it.
Oh,
yeah. So
rock and roll,
and it
very.
and to get a new neck for that at that time was going to take over 2 years to get.
Wow.
And
Wow,
so I
what-
didn't bother. And as disgusting as this may sound, I bought an Ashton guitar for $180 from Guitar World, and the neck fitted straight onto the gem because that's what they modeled them off. So I ended up getting, and I put it on, and the guys were just flabbergasted. They were disgusting. And here's me sanding off the Ashton name brand off the top, and so forth. And so yeah, I've been playing gems ever since. And then
very good.
Leo Kotke, one of my he's probably my favourite overseas
Oh wow,
guitar,
It's
acoustic guitars. Because he played, I got to meet him years ago, and he gave me a lesson in the car park at Seagulls. And so because I fanboyed him, and he played, and I didn't know what to say to him. And I said, and the first thing that came out of my mouth, which was no use to me or him, I didn't know what to say, and I went, "Oh, what pickups do you use in your guitar?" So I didn't know. I was so dumbfounded, I couldn't talk. And the next minute, here I am standing with him underneath cover because it was raining, and he's giving me this mini lesson on the guitar at Seagulls. And I think I must have been about 18 or 19 at the time. So yeah, and in that
good.
I've always wanted a Taylor. So I've always wanted a Taylor, and that's my little Koa Taylor that I have, which I've only had in the last probably I think 3 years or so now. So
all right,
and it's a mini,
man.
and again with small hands, I've got to try and make things a bit easier for myself. So.
Okay, awesome, man, awesome. Or we might go straight to Felicity. You've got some guitars to show and tell, Felicity.
I have some things.
Yay.
This is my beautiful baby Gabriella. And she is handmade by a man who lives just north of Sydney, near Newcastle, Toronto. The place is called, his name's Strato Anagnostis. And he made Paul George's guitar from Tijuana Cartel, and I tried it and just I've used it for 2 years actually, fell in love with it, and then he made this so it would make my sound, suit my sound, which is playing kind of regular music with a rock band, but with heaps of Spanishy, flamenco-y vibes in there. So it's made for the hip sound, which is I use a lot. Yeah, so the wood, it gives a really crisp sound. So, and the back piece is actually, I'm just working at the camera, phenomenal.
Wow.
Ponyo.
Ponyo. Hello, Ponyo.
So that's what the back looks like. It's kind of just beautiful. And I also wanted to show this case because I have a lady that does my CD artwork and does these cases, Rebecca Cunningham from the Gold Coast.
Wow.
And she paints them live while I'm playing, actually.
Wow.
That's cool.
And she sells them. Yeah, but see, as you can see, that's just phenomenal.
Wow.
And it's nothing like rocking up with an epic case. This is the one for the current guitar. I love original art. And that's one of my dog's puppies on there. She painted that when I played a live gig at Burleigh Headland. Her name's Rebecca Cunningham. And then I also have my electric guitar is in there, but it's a Mexican Strat, so people make fun of me for that. But I don't care. Someone gave it to me for a birthday present, so I thought, it's a pretty good birthday present, really. And it does the job. I sort of lean on my nylon string anyway. So he actually did an interesting thing. I think it's called Zen tie craftsmanship, which is to leave a fault on the end where it's just rough on the end so that you know that a human's made it and not a machine. And
Ah.
just to show that like things aren't perfect, they're perfect in there.
We got a question. We got a question here for you.
Yep.
Actually, for Sean and Felicity. So, whoops, is it curly maple? Your acoustic? Do you know the timber?
It's Koa. Sorry.
There's- Yeah, that back piece. I don't know. I know there's blackwood on it. He did give me the full description, but like, I have boys in my band that do the gear for me. You know what I mean?
And maybe
I just like channel down the guitar and then they tell me all the magic things about it and I go, well, it sounds amazing. But the other one that I do have here is a locally made one, another locally made one.
I'll come to Sean in a sec. Yep.
A Fennec guitar. Aaron Fennec from just the back of Miami Marquetta. And it's another beautiful piece. And this was actually made because I started to get sad about the trees going down. And it was made from a big Papua New Guinean rosewood that came down in an old lady's yard up at the sunny coast. And it got hit by lightning or something. And then the front is from those pine forests as you drive up to the Sunshine Coast. So it's fairly sustainable, this guitar. So that's cool.
That's amazing. And before I get to, and have you got any, actually, I'll just get to Sean's question here. Sean, what gauge strings have you got on the Gem?
I used to use custom 10s to 56, but I'm just playing with 9s now. That's all I play with, and Ernie ball, because every other string I break constantly, and the Ernie balls are the only ones that can sustain my sweat because I'm a sweater when I play. So.
And then in your acoustic, is it curly maple, or you said it's Koa?
No,
I think
it's Koa. It's a Hawaiian. It's a Hawaiian wood. So it's. I think it's. I could be wrong, but I think it's grown only in one place in Hawaii. It's a Koa.
Very good. And we got Veronica. This stuff I'd like to be doing as a collaboration with a musician. Anyone would like a visual artist tag along, please keep in touch. There you go. And do you want to, before we get to Teresa, do you have any other instruments there? That little 10,
yes.
8-string.
Well, this is something, another artist who's done work on my albums, Sharon McLeod, painted this for me. It's like an antique mandolin. It's got 8 strings, but I haven't restrung it. And it's all one piece of wood, as you can see. It's actually like, I feel like it's really old. And then she's just painted crows on it because that's my totem animal and gifted it to me. So that's my mission, is to learn that. My guitarist has played it who can play mandolin, and it sounds amazing actually, but there's no pickup or anything. But yeah, it's just a gorgeous little thing to twiddle around with, really.
Fantastic. It's sensational. And Teresa, are you there? Hello, Teresa? Hello, Teresa?
Teresa.
That's such a lovely photo, Teresa.
Well,
it is. It's great.
Well, this is my Gem story, so I may as well, because I didn't expect to be playing. So this is a 7BSB, and anyway, I've probably overplayed it, but anyway, I actually took it all the way to the States, and Mr. Vi actually signed it for me.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Okay, so anyway, rock and roll.
That's beautiful.
But hopefully, Teresa are you there, Teresa?
Oh, she's moving.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? No?
No,
I might send her a
so.
message. Okay. So, Michelle, what else is in store for the couch? With,
yeah.
Oh, is that Teresa coming through?
Maybe.
No. No. Teresa, just talk when you hear us. Like, just talk. Can you hear us?
Nod.
No.
No, it's kind of going in.
So,
it's a bit.
So I'm in the middle of writing a children's book, which I'm going to be calling Goggle Girl. I also am still in the middle of my series of my Flower Girls, one of which I showed. Another one, I don't know if you properly. I'm trying to. No. So that's an
yes.
That's an acrylic painting that I've done ages ago. Very well.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Teresa. There we
and
go.
airbrushed.
No.
Wow,
I want
airbrushed.
to complete a few more of that.
Oh, no, she's gone again, I think.
So working on a lot of patterns and that sort of thing to I missed that, Michelle.
Oh, keep going, keep going.
Keep going. Ah! There's always one that causes trouble, and it's you, Teresa. Get your live stream organised, young lady.
I could tell you were trouble when you were sideways.
Yeah, right.
I feel so blonde.
So, all right.
I
Oh,
feel-
cool. All right.
Yeah.
Looks very cool. We're just having issues, Teresa, with the
And,
audio there, or
and my
not.
brain is not quite catching up now.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh, we might go to Michelle.
Yes.
Michelle, so what's in store next for the couch? Post COVID. For creating.
Post the COVID is I'm going to be bringing the shows back to being live again in front of a live audience. I had to obviously postpone a few shows. So they are ready to go as soon as we are allowed to not social distance and we can actually connect with everyone again. So I'm actually, the one that I had planned for March 15th, the Gold Coast Unearthed Artistic Realm, I'm really hoping to do that one. Well, I don't really know. Hopefully September, whenever these things are going to be lifted. And that is going to be highlighting local artists and musicians, and Teresa will be there live, so I won't have any trouble with her like glitching on stage. Oh, it depends what she drinks on the night, but she still might glitch. And then obviously Sean as the DJ and a couple of other creatives as well.
Oh,
and I really want to I really want to continue doing that because that's how it all started, was about highlighting the Gold Coast culture, the Gold Coast arts culture. So I really want to get back to that again and continue to do that. And yeah, just try and connect more people and have more people collaborate with each other and create more amazing things.
Yeah. And I guess also to post the C word. I know you don't actually want to say that, but are you actually looking for any kind of council or government body endorsement to get on board and help support the arts?
Yeah, absolutely. That is just so important because at the moment it's such a struggle, and like I was saying on the last week, that especially even more so after this is that local talent really needs to be supported. Not saying that we are going to celebrate the end of lockdown by bringing over the Rolling Stones. It should be about highlighting the local artists that we have and supporting with what they do, because they bring so much to our lives every day.
C word.
The C word. Yeah.
Oh, man. I did not expect to see that cup. That was really
Oh, I missed it. And now she's gone.
You're missing.
Oh, my Lord.
Ah, Felicity. I'm so impressed with you. So impressed.
Oh, my God.
Couldn't help it.
So, no, I'm good on you. It is all about the C word. That kind of thing. So anyway, so that's the plan.
All right.
So they've just brought up. Sorry, guys. Because I live just near the arts centre, or the Hoda now, which they call it. But I just saw on the news, I think it was last night or the night before, they're looking for visual artists to submit work that they can start putting in into the new gallery that they're putting in. So I think that's another good thing too, that they're pushing out to get the local artists in there. And I think there's funding of some description as well.
That's awesome.
That's
So Veronica,
really
if you're
good.
watching, Veronica's a visual artist, so you need to get on that. That's awesome. And what else? What else is in the pipeline for yourself, Sean? You know, supporting the arts and maybe doing some more of your own music.
I just can't wait to get back to playing live. And because I'm a soloist now, and get out and just play music and just share. You know what I mean? So it's and I've had a couple of new venues that have opened up, and as soon as they sort of kicked off, then Year of the Beard took over, and we all got isolated. So so I'm really chomping at the bit just to get back out and play live. And then Michelle calling me DJ Sean always, it rings funny in my ears because it's going to be such a loose term, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to working with Michelle and Susie and the team up there and have a good time, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Can't wait to have the fun again. Yeah.
Well, please let me know, Michelle, when you need some more music. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
It'd
absolutely.
be good to have a jam with Felicity sometime. Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Actually, I forgot something. I just saw someone come in on my watch party. One of my students gave me this the other day.
Hang on, let me zoom in.
This is a thing I have to show.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Made of
cool.
bolts and steel. This is my other bit of gear.
That is awesome.
You want to push him forward a bit? Push him
by
forward.
a legend.
Oh, that is very
Tyler
cool.
Oh, cool.
It's got two nuts. It's good.
Yes.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Pants. Clearly pants optional.
Pants optional.
Pants optional, that's right.
So, okay. So from everyone doing gigs of sorts, doesn't matter if it's music, artists. I don't know where Teresa is. She might be painting. But what's your worst? I want to hear a rock and roll breakdown story. Rock and roll breakdown. So you're out doing a gig or setting up whatever, Michelle, in your previous career. Just what's the most in whatever you were doing before? What's a rock and roll breakdown? So, you know, you're out on the road and you've had a mechanical failure of sorts at the worst possible time. So maybe Felicity, you want to go first?
Yes, I've got many. Where do I begin? My life is a rock and roll breakdown. I was playing at Blues on Broadbeach, and it was our last song on the big stage. And, you know, my guitarist is doing this epic solo. We're all rocking out. It's the massive climax. And I get up onto the drum riser, which for people that don't know is the raised platform that the drummer sits on, and do this big jump off it and smash into the light above, like this $1,000-$2,000 light, and like actually almost knocked myself out, came smashing down, nearly took out the guitarist and was going to fall on my guitar. So I rolled backwards. And the soundie is just looking at me like, you've just wrecked my light. What is wrong with you? And I'm still playing on my back. And I got up at the end and I kept going. And I felt like I'd really hurt myself. I was like, do I have blood running down my face? And afterwards people were like, wow, like you did a ninja roll on stage. And I was like, yeah, I totally did that. Smashed glass everywhere. But basically every time I've gone for a stage move, like my band members, my guitarist, especially Scotty French, is quite an epic jumper. And so I thought, oh, yeah, you know, and every time, like once I got up on my cajon and it wobbled as I stood on it and then just smashed into the drum kit, nearly took out the whole sound system and then was too scared to come back down. So I had to just stay with the drummer up there. And at the end, I thought I'll just jump off at the end because if I fall, like at least it won't matter. And it was just like, she's just like, what are you doing? Get away from me. So, yeah, jumping, I just leave that to the boys now and I'll just sort of, let them take care of that.
And do you have
falling off stage?
That's awesome. And do you have a car breakdown, you know, a bus breakdown, a mechanical?
Yes, driving to the snow. We were going around a corner on a very icy thing. We do the Peak Festival every year. No heater in a really old van. It's snowing and we're driving from Perisher to Hotham and we go around the corner and second gear no longer works. It's just gone nuts. So we're driving up a mountain with no second gear, and it was just an absolute nightmare.
In first.
So yeah, but first to
Oh.
third, like, yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's when you realize that you've got a band of geniuses, when you can actually get through those things. But absolutely, packing gear in the snow is a nightmare. So I used to do a residency down there. Now it's just like, I'll just do the festival things when people are driving me around.
Yeah.
Oh, one more. In the snowmobile going up to our gig, they put you in the back of this awful snowmobile, right? And we're driving up, and you're actually on the side of the cliff in the back of this thing that's churning through snow. And we've got all the gear and the whole band in the back. And the next thing, the doors just flap open. And all the gear starts sliding, as does the bass player. And we're like, grab him. And I've got a video of the whole thing, actually. And then as we slam the door shut, the guitarist had his finger in the door to hold one side shut, and the bass player slammed the other.
Oh, no.
Frozen slam finger. So
Frozen Slam Finger.
No.
many
Feels like a new good band name there. Frozen Slam Finger.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Sean, do you have a rock and roll story or a rock and roll breakdown?
Yeah. Well, it's Felicity, you were just saying you have a band of. You turn into MacGyver when you're on the road. You can find stuff to fix. And we were traveling up to Rockhampton, and we were at that stage where everybody's nearly falling asleep at the wheel. Next minute, we've noticed that the car overheats, and we had
Doesn't it always?
And it was an old, I think they were the initial model of a combi van that shouldn't have ever been released to the public. And as we're driving up, and we got people asleep in the back and no seatbelts and all that sort of overheats, and we had there was a hole in the radiator, and we were stuck in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there was dead kangaroos and stuff around us. That was the closest thing to life that was near us. And the guitarist, he was a Papua New Guinean lap steel guitarist, and all of a sudden he goes, "I'll fix this," and he pulls out Wheat Bix. He pulls out Wheat Bix out of his pack and crushes them into the radiator and refills up with whatever fluid we had, and it got us the rest of the way to Rockhampton.
Oh,
And I'm just going, this is amazing, like.
He's a Wheat Bix kid.
We do turn into MacGyvers as such when we get on the road to fix stuff, and I think one of my worst gear fails. I was playing in Cairns. I used to be in a band called Lenny Driftwood and the Pile Drivers, and we were just a touring show band, and we were playing. Went to play Black Cat, Janet Jackson's Black Cat.
Yeah, it's a cool riff.
Yeah.
And I loved all that flashy sort of stuff that you do on the guitar, but what you do with the guitar. And I used to spin the guitar around my shoulder and then catch it and go off and play a solo.
Rock and
You
roll.
know what's going to
I'd probably
happen.
break the guitar if I did that. Someone.
Yeah. So I've gone to jump into the solo for Black Cat. I've turned around and I've flicked it, and I flicked it that hard that when it's come back around, I've missed grabbing it, and it's pulled the strap pin out of the bottom and shot over the top of the singer and landed in the wedge. So it's been so you just hear this massive as my guitar's ringing out through this big Mayer system that we had playing, and it was I'd have to say that's probably my most frightening gear fail that I've had on site.
Wheat Bix, there we go. And what about and Michelle? Do you have a
Well,
you know?
well, I'm not a musician, but I play a mean tambourine, and I did have a bit of a tussle with someone. I did have a tussle with someone on the dance floor over a tambourine. There's my story. I had it first, and I wasn't going to share it. I hadn't finished the song, so that's my rock and roll story. That's it.
Can I tell one more? I was playing a cafe one night. This is probably the funniest thing. This is not even a rock and roll breakdown, but it was like a big ceremonial handover of this epic restaurant that had been here forever, and it was all emotional, and there was all weird politics. I'm stuck on stage giving the microphone going, oh, how did I not get off stage? But then I turn around and a really drunk lady is just leaning back at the bar and her hair is sitting in a candle. And next thing, her hair is on fire. And I'm like, oh my God, her hair's on fire. And all this kitchen staff are like hitting her with with tea towels. And she's just like drunk. She just doesn't even get, she's not reacting. She's just standing there like,
wow.
well, everyone's like hitting her and everything. And, you know, that's the moment I took to obviously exit stage left so I could get away. But I was like, oh my goodness. She didn't realise.
She probably had a hair full of hairspray. So it was so flammable.
Oh, yeah. It was lucky that wasn't in the 80s.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually, one of mine was I was playing at the beer garden on the Gold Coast, and I had a Toyota Hiace, and it never actually really let me down at all. And this one particular night, going to play at, I think it was the beer garden, had to get RACQ to sort it out. And I kid you not, I couldn't fit inside the truck, and they wanted me to organise alternative transport. Long story short, here I am sitting in my car on the back of the tow truck, and he goes, "Where can I tow your car?" And so I got him to tow it to my to the venue, and so it was rather interesting loading guitars out off the back of a truck. And anyway, he had to dump it there. So to get home, so I did the gig. I had to push the van around the block and call RACQ up again because they wouldn't pick you up where they drop you off, right? So,
Classic.
Another classic MacGyver move right there.
So Teresa, have you had a artistic breakdown? Welcome back.
Oh God, millions. But the Felicity, your story about the hair. I did that to a friend at my wedding.
Yeah.
It was actually me.
I didn't realize she was standing so close to me, and I was a little bit drunk and having a cigarette on a brick wall, and she was standing next to me, and all of a sudden I could smell this burning, and I'm like, what is that? And I've turned around, and her hair was alight, so I threw my champagne all over it.
That girl is on fire.
I know.
Did you think what a waste? Did you think what a waste of champagne?
Damn straight I did. It was my wedding. I thought, where's my drink?
Yeah. Refill.
So, talking about the art, we might go around again. So maybe if we start with Teresa because you're back on board. What experience? What do you draw most of your artistic influence from? Real world experiences.
So like I've been drawing and painting since I was a little girl, and my grandparents were just the most amazing artists, and so we used to like go into the forest and search for fairies and that sort of thing, and so I guess it all started back then. But I just anything. I just like to draw. I just like to paint. Mainly women, because I don't know why. I just do. And patterns. I'm really, oh my God, when I went to India and I took all these photos when I was over there, and I was saying to Michelle that all of the photos that I brought back, there were like 4 types of photos. There were like dogs, like the stray dogs on the side of the road, because I love dogs. Cows. So 50 million street cows.
Stray cows?
Oh my God, there was like this massive bullfight in the middle of the street, like right near me. It was epic. And selfies of my daughter and I, and then patterns. So there's like 50 million patterns, and nobody wants to see my holiday photos anymore. They're like, no, don't show us, because I'm obsessed. So patterns, women, fairies.
Yeah. Okay, anything. That's good. That's good to know.
Blue
so
ladies,
we might.
I like to colour my women. So one of my messages is it doesn't matter what colour you are or where you are in life or what you look like, you're beautiful. So I do them. Yeah, I like surrealism. So Salvador Dali's been a really big influence on me.
I love that. The drooping clocks. I love that.
Right?
I love
This is
Salvador
memory.
yeah.
Dali.
Yeah.
love
I saw that in
yeah.
Brisbane, and I stood there and cried. I must have looked like a total idiot because I'm just sitting there standing there doing the ugly cry and going, oh my God, oh, who's that? Sorry, squirrel. Felicity, who's that?
This is Bjorky.
Oh,
Aw.
Who's that girl?
Nelson, do you want to come say hello? Come and say hello. It's a dog off.
A dog off.
Hang on.
Aw.
Hello, Nelson.
Oh,
Who's a baby? Hello.
Look,
I love you.
Bjorky. Bloody dog owners.
I do do pet portraits as well. So anyone who loves dogs, I love dogs. Pet portraits.
Oh,
Cats,
yeah.
love cats.
Don't feel bad. I've got a pet Wilson.
Okay, here we go.
That's bad.
Oh man! And Teresa, before when you had some serious internet issues, we didn't.
When
We
Michelle
only just
told
saw
the
it.
names.
We sort of just had a couple of flashes of some artwork. So if you do have any other art, we can come back to you and show it off properly.
Cool.
Yeah, if you do. But we'll go to Felicity now while you're sorting it out. So,
Cool.
Felicity, being an original artist, and you said your style is flamenco or influenced. Where do you draw your influences from writing songs and material?
Well, from love and from my basic thing when I sit down and play music is I've always come with the intention of just healing, and making the most. The goal is always to make the most beautiful thing that will hit people really deeply and allow them to feel, and just to be really have integrity about it, I guess. And so, yeah, and I mean, sometimes it just comes through. Like once I was sitting with a tarot artist and it was like her energy just came through me, and I wrote this song about one of the tarot cards, the Fool. And but yeah, I mean, being in nature, I write, there's a lot of natural metaphor in all of my music. I spend a lot of time in the trees, and yeah, life, all of it, and just, really wanting to share joy and pain so that people feel not even so it's it's for myself, but it's for everyone else at the same time. It's such an interesting little duality. It's sometimes it's you're having a dark moment and you just sit down and you do it to heal yourself. Other times you're just I've written a song about a really sad friend once and wrote a song to heal her, and also for my bass player. Yeah, so but definitely a lot of it is to just make a sound that it initiates healing for people and makes them feel raw and completely expressed.
Yeah, I really like how you started your whole explanation with intention. It reminds me of someone, I can't remember his name right now, but Dr. Wayne Dyer wrote a book about that, intention.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Wayne Dyer.
Yeah.
I'm right into, especially what you said about tarot reading and understanding omens. They say the universe, I'm right into this kind of stuff, but understanding, where you might be at in your vibration, because, the law of attraction.
Yes.
Where you are at is exactly where you should be, right? So, and the universe presents these opportunities, whether you're ready or not to take them, So
yes, and the whole world is energy. So we can play with that energy, and really it's about self-mastery is mastering that ability to know that you're energetic, even if it's a rock hard, solid object, you are actually, wielding energy all the time. All this stuff has a vibration. So anything we're interacting with, whether it be living or non-living, if we can keep on top of our energy, and with people as well, regardless of what's coming, it's amazing how it turns around, and just when you say, just by me saying I have that intention to heal, and I always visualize blue light before I go to a venue. And since I've been doing that the last 3 years, people come and say, wow, it's such a healing energy here. And I don't even have to try. It's just that was my intention to start with. And then I just go and play whatever I feel like, you know?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's
And
amazing
I think
the power
also
of
too.
words.
Yeah, right. Because that's the original source, right? Vibration.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. That's amazing. So going over to Sean,
Yep.
influences in making your music. Where do they come from? Wilson.
Because he's my silent partner. He he's like he's shit at guitar because he's got no fingers. Look, I've got such a wide range of listening things that I go to because I studied classical originally and then discovered rock and then discovered Steve Vai and all those sorts of things, and it's all my music comes. I'm very influenced by what's around me at the time, and even when I hardly ever play the same solo. There's a few iconic songs that I play in my solo stuff that I will play the same. Like there's some solos you've got to do because that's what people hear, and you chuck a couple of things in. Crazy Little Thing Called Love is one of them. I'll play that note for note because people sing that solo, so they kind of know how it goes. But every solo that I play is different. It will sound different. It'll sound like me, but it's never the same. So, and quite often I'm influenced by who I'm listening to at the time. And I had a friend of mine that I grew up with. He would go at times. He goes, "Oh, Sean, are you listening to Vi, or are you listening to Blues Saraceno? Because you're sounding. That's who you're sounding like at the moment." So I'm very influenced about what is actually around me. So and what I'm listening to and what I'm feeling. So that's kind of. Yeah, it's different for me. Every gig is different because I make it different for myself, and I also make it different. And you're playing stock standards, and you're doing stuff like and people go, "Oh, do you play that song?" Well, yeah, I do. And they go, "Everyone plays that song," but I play it how I play it to put my own feel, and I get away with that. I think as being a covers guy, So I haven't. And I've got to step out of my comfort zone actually and start pulling my original stuff and getting that into the live circuit as well.
Yeah,
good.
come and see me.
Yep.
Yes.
So, Michelle, what influences you to do what you do and connect everybody?
Well, I think I've always liked to bring people together, and I've always.
Sorry, that cup just.
That Felicity. Cut it out. Cut it out, Felicity. I've always really just loved bringing people together, and also for everyone to accept other people's differences as well and points of view. And that's a big reason for another big reason for doing what I'm doing, for people to open their minds up and for people to accept people with no judgment. People are what they are and it should be accepted. I know you were talking before, Doug, about the law of attraction, and I also think it's the law of vibration as well. It's the vibration it's the vibration in the earth, it's the vibrations around us and the vibrations between people, which is the energy. And having that's why, when I first started the Couch Out Loud, I said, I'm never having a podcast. I'm never having a YouTube channel. I'm never doing this. It's going to be live. That's it. Never. And now because of, hold up the cup, Felicity, the C word, because of the C word, I've had to now do a podcast and a YouTube channel and all this. But, it's been really good. And then being able to do things like this. So, I'm liking the C word in a way now. I'm liking the Felicity. The C word. Bring it up. I like
You're missing your cue. You're missing your cue.
Thank you, the visual. I'm liking it now. That's right. Because it does suit its purpose. But there's nothing like. I know you're thinking of what's written on the cup when I say that. Excellent.
We are
but
now.
It's nothing about. As we're thinking of that, there's nothing about actually being in the same room.
Yes.
In saying that.
Oh,
and we can use that. There's nothing. I know. I miss that energy. I miss all that. Yeah. That's what I'm missing at the moment is bringing people together. And you can actually feel it. You can feel it when you walk around. It's like when people say, and people don't know that they're feeling it. It's like when people say, oh, you could cut the air with a knife. Well, that's the energy they're feeling. But people just don't think it. But it's about acknowledging that's what's going on around you. And and ever since actually doing my healing with Felicity, which was one of the best things I've ever done, which I did that with her last year, that helped me so much because I was so blocked. I remember when I was talking to Felicity and I said, now, what do you actually do again? What are you doing besides music? She goes, oh, if people have blockages. And I remember saying to you, Felicity, I'm so blocked, and I came to you. And that was just so amazing. And that put me on this healing path and me taking myself back to what I know so well, which is about that acknowledging and understanding the energy around you and what that can do for other people. And I feel the Couch Out Loud has its own little healing or bubble as well.
It really does.
It really does. So, and I've experienced that. Like I remember Felicity when I saw you at the Vale. Remember the Vale?
Yeah.
That time. And you played your Blackbird song, and this is no joke, I was standing up there and I was swaying, and it was like, I don't know what energy was coming out of healing, but I was like in a zone. It was just so darn cool. It was so darn cool. I loved it. So it is so true, and it's so real, and it's so raw when you're there. But you actually also have to be open to it too, don't you, though? You really have to be open to it.
And it's
if you're
also
not open
just
to it, you won't get it.
Yeah.
You've always stated about your show, like, this is about bringing people together, like all the words that you're saying. And so it is done. Like, when we arrive, that's exactly what happens. Like, it's amazing to just be clear. This is what I'm doing, you said, and then it happened.
Yeah, absolutely. True. It is. It's true. Exactly right.
Hey, Martin. So we might, very well said, we've got a couple of points here, and maybe Felicity or Sean says here, I hear we're supposed to be tuning to 432 instead of 440, and it's been changed on us. So do you guys have any opinions about that? Do you know what they're talking about?
Your 440 standard tuning. Yeah, I think, Felicity, you'll be more in touch with this one.
Yeah, so back in the day, I think until about, I'm not sure when it changed, but with the digital age, 440 became standard A tuning. And before that, like all your classical music, and you even notice with songs like, you know that song, Give a Little Bit, you try to play along with that, and it's actually tuned in 432. So it's slightly lower frequency or whatever it is, like whether that's lower or higher, I'm not sure. But they say that with the digital age, 440 was to make it more digital and harsh, and 432 was healing. And a lot of my students ask me that because there's a lot of like kind of more alternative people that come through and go, I think I should tune to 432. And I tried to do it for a while, but no, all the other musicians were like, this is so painful because our tuners aren't tuning to this. And then I realized, like everything, you know, like everyone else has got a standard tuner. And I just sort of went, well, it doesn't really matter, because if you are intending it to be healing or you're intending something with it, then whatever vibration will happen. But yes, it seemed to be like a softer sort of frequency. You can really hear it when you do listen to a song like that, and you do listen to a lot of stuff from the 60s and 70s, and it sounds like you're just a bit out of tune with it when you're trying to play along. Sometimes it's just because they didn't tune. Other times it's because it's because of that. But I think like I have had a lot of feedback with mine and other people's music that I listen to, and it's very healing regardless because of how they're delivering it. And I think the whole bottom line for me is my energy is being amplified, whatever watts it's being amplified through a sound system. So whatever I'm putting into that, if I'm feeling insecure and aggro, that's going to come out amplified. If I'm feeling awesome, that's going to come out amplified. And whatever meaning we attach to it is going to be what it is. So, yeah, I did think about that a lot, but then I went, you know what? This is standard right now, so I'm just still going to keep knowing this is healing, whatever, you know.
Yeah, right. They've done some tests on it. I think it was actually decided in Germany that it had a round council. I think it before 1940. I think from someone's can check the nerd data, but yeah, about the 432 versus 440, because I've done a. It doesn't really matter, but I've done did a compositions degree, blah, blah, blah. But I actually looked at that and maybe even looking at doing a PhD in understanding vibration and what happens on your body. But the little bit that
Yes.
the little bit I understand at the moment is that they did some scientific tests with sugar on a speaker, and so they could, with an oscilloscope, they could actually put the frequency through the speaker coil, and the sugar actually vibrated in like snowflake
Yes.
formations with frequencies. And long story short, all our cells that makes up something called a body, we actually listen and we actually get exposed to vibration of sorts. So this is actually a clear endorsement to actually turn your guitar up and play louder, because
Yes.
most of the time we listen with our body, we listen to industrial noise, which is like buses going past, airplanes going over. So, and the only place that most of the time, and I'm talking about the non-musicians now, they listen to music with their body is only in their car when they crank it up. Because these days with these little things, it doesn't do hardly anything for you, So yeah, so
But
onwards
you
and
know
upwards,
what's really
turning it up.
interesting is in the healing when I do hands-on stuff, whether it's cranio, Feldenkrais, or a traditional kind of technique, and I've started singing as I do it. So now I sing with the people that are open to it, and it goes twice as fast. I just sing, and the vibration. And today I actually did work with a lady, and I got her to sing at the same time, and I harmonized with her, and it was about tenfold. You could feel the energy, and all the things release much quicker. So just from a practical hands-on, like I can feel like all the tension in the neck, and as I do a normal move, and then as I sing with it, with just love, it releases maybe 4 or 5 times faster.
I like
That
to
is
sing
so
when I like to sing
awesome.
when I'm
Oh
working
my God.
too.
Say that again.
Sorry, I like to sing and listen to music when I'm doing my art too. I find if I get really stuck that if I have the music on, then it's better. But it has to be happy music.
Yes.
Even pitch is a relative thing, because when you play the piano, like when you play a note on the piano, it's not one string doing that. It's the combination of 3 strings. One is detuned and one is tuned up. So it's the sum of the whole, if that makes sense.
And the resonance of the wood with the strings as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So it's an experience that gives you pitch. And so when you listen to an orchestra, what blows my mind, like all violins and cellos, all string instruments, there is no frets. And and then all brass players, they have to tune their instruments. So if you think about it, the whole concept is based on a theory, which is so cool, because what is absolute pitch? What is it? No one can divine it. It's just what you think it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
it's like when you meditate and you do the om, and if you do
it's a vibration,
the om, that you can actually, if you do it enough, you can actually feel it like coming out through your lips and like going through your whole body. It's just it's spirit fingers.
So I shouldn't mention, but 5G was not healthy in our bodies plus DNA. Yes. But Teresa, is that all right to go to your artwork, because we didn't really get to see it? Is that okay?
Yep. So I'm just
for all our artists in the house.
Yeah.
So there's
nice.
So that one's called what?
Hang on. It's called what?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. Hang on. Oh, I can't get my thing right. There we go. So that's what? That's who. That's who. Who and what?
Oh, wow.
So what is just airbrushed. She was a finalist last year in the Lethbridge 20,000 in Brisbane, and so was what? No, go on. Oh God, I feel like I'm drunk. So then that one's one of my A4 drawings. I'll hold that up. There we go. So she's part of my Flower Girl series. So they've all got flowers on their eyes, and it's to hide them. It's to give them beauty, like when a lot of people don't see the beauty in the world, and so a lot of rough things happen. So this is to give them back the beauty. And
nice.
Yeah. So she's just got a hint of something. So I had a little drawing contest on my Instagram as well. So I actually tried I tried watercolor for the first time in years, and I didn't think I could do it. And I said to my daughter, I think I'm pretty shit at watercolor. And then I did it, and I went, oh no, I'm happy.
Amazing.
So these are two of my drawings that yeah.
Otherwise,
drop the lap.
So they've so they were both put onto pillows. So yeah,
That's
I was
awesome.
doing all that sort of thing as well. Thank you.
So the butterfly
Beautiful.
on the mouth, what does that mean?
So that's my Speak No Evil. So
I like it.
So I've got I do them. I've got another one where she's got a green butterfly on her ear, and she's called Hear No Evil. But most of the girls have got the flowers on their eyes, and they're all different colours, and yeah. So
Someone's got a the owl. Who?
yeah.
Who?
Well, you got what and who?
Yeah, what and who?
He said Good Vibrations by Beach Boys. Yes.
Oh,
together, Martin.
perfect. Yeah.
It's fantastic. Very, very. It beats. Oh, there you go. Flowers beats cucumbers. There you go.
Good one.
I've been growing zucchinis lately.
All right. I'm glad you said zucchinis. That's good.
We got a big one the other day.
You got a big one. All right. Cool.
Somebody asked me which were better, cucumbers or zucchinis, and I said, I don't know, but I got a zucchini.
All right. So let's we'll do two more questions and so have a look here.
What about you, Doug?
Yeah.
About cucumbers.
What have you got?
All right.
No, not you. I don't want to hear about your cucumber, mate. What have you got in store for the future?
Oh well, that's a good question.
Sean?
Does anyone know of Joseph Campbell's work? Does anyone know who Joseph Campbell is? So all his work, he's a mythologist. His work was based for Star Wars. George Lucas used all his mythology about that, and The Matrix, and The Hunger Games is probably the most recent one. It's called The Hero's Quest, and it sounds really mythological. That's why he's a mythologist. However, The Hero's Quest is actually life. It's about finding your own way. And I know when Michelle came around, we sort of spoke about this lightly, but
yes.
I'm in the midst of recording some new material, and it's pretty out there. But I also have this. I want to do a PhD in composition. So what I want to do is convert the hero's journey into music. And
Wow.
but obviously when you do something like that, you have to do some tests. So I'm still developing my thesis, so to speak, and I'm also practicing charades while I talk. But other than that, just being true to yourself. I do covers online still, and I just do them my own way. They're really out there. I love flat fives and stepping on all the wrong notes and creating tension.
Yep.
But yeah, I think making art, I'm sort of hell bent on that, and with this whole digital platform, and similar to Michelle, having a YouTube channel. But even this, being true to who I am, with even this platform, this is show number 37 in maybe 6 weeks, and
whoa,
this is and I haven't counted all of them. And actually, even tonight, this is my second show tonight, and I've got another show tonight, so it's 3 in one night. I'll be going streaming with London and in London. But anyway, my point is just engaging, just not to be scared, because I've got this new hero at the moment called Dan Pena, and he's very, very full on. And my point is, he keeps saying this little mantra, and I'm repeating it. Michelle already knows it. He says this. He goes, "Show me your friends, I'll show you your future." And I guess stepping back into this whole vibrational concept, if you hang around with like-minded people, you will probably do better at everything. So agree and amplify the arts, and even on a personal level, I think being aware of your body, because your body is an instrument of sorts, but not so much a musical instrument, but also a dashboard. Your body is actually a dashboard, because when you have a negative reaction to any food of some sorts, because I've just gone on this weird diet. It's really, really weird. Michelle was here when I was on this weird diet thing, a cleansing diet. And it was actually really interesting to be more aware of what you consume and the actual instant reaction you have. And but then also be aware of who you spend your time with, and
Yes.
it's actually my choice that what I do. So anyway, this is why I'm doing so much of this stuff, is connecting with like-minded people.
Deepak Chopra
But
says
Doug-
that that when you eat, that you should be eating with people that you like, because then your body metabolizes better. When you eat with people you don't like, then you can't
That's
metabolize
amazing.
the food. Yeah.
Is
When
that
you
the same
eat-
as eat the people you like, or don't eat the people you don't like? I'm sorry.
I don't know, but I've got a zucchini.
That's amazing. Yeah, I didn't know that. Don't eat with
Yep.
people you don't like.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And
Yeah.
another really interesting thing is that we are actually, our whole bodies are made of rhythm, because below our, apart from our heartbeat being a constant rhythm that is keeps us alive, even before your heartbeat and your breath, you have craniosacral rhythm, which is running up and down your spine. These little pulses that are going all the time in your body. So our whole body is actually run off rhythm.
Yeah.
And that's why we resonate with music and rhythm so much, you know.
That's why I like walking around with no shoes on too, Felicity.
Me
Same.
too.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As soon as I get anywhere, the shoes are
Yeah.
off. I only wear them if
Yes.
I necessarily have to.
Shoes and bra.
Yes.
Get that off.
Hearing you.
I know, right, Doug?
Yeah, you know that, boys.
Yeah,
Shoes and bra.
yeah, Sean.
Yeah.
Anything you need to tell us?
Those underwires are killing me, I tell you.
You need to change brands, mate. You need to change brands. I think Felicity's got an endorsement. You can have it on a cup. So maybe
I was gonna,
I feel ripped off.
Love it.
you kind of you'd have you'd have to say the auntie. You'd have to say the auntie, but adding the cup in as well, wouldn't you? The auntie
Yeah.
cuppy.
oh my God, Michelle, look what you started.
I know, yes. It's like, once again, it's like the pants optional. It's all started again. I love it.
I bet you didn't expect this, Doug, did you?
No, it only took an hour and 17 minutes to get to this.
This is freedom. We're
So
amazing.
Also, maybe last, if anyone's watching, I hope you're all right. But if you have any,
If they're still watching,
if you have any questions, please post your questions, because we'll be wrapping up in the next 15. So having a borderline hyperactive thyroid, my body will at times literally vibrate. I use tapping, grounding, crystals, and Reiki to bring it back to balance, barefoot and braless.
You.
yay!
Kookaburra,
Yes,
Veronica.
good.
Oh,
Yes, good.
That was a good kookaburra.
that's not young ears. So
I hope they can't
maybe
read.
yes. So here we go. We got ones here. What the hell?
Shout bras.
So, what? Maybe if we go to Teresa, what advice would you pass on to younger generation?
Well,
to follow your true self.
Yeah, it's really important. A lot of people try to push artists, out and say that it's stupid and worthless and you'll never make any money out of it and blah, blah, blah. But it's really important. Winston Churchill actually became an artist after he was Prime Minister of England, because it was the only thing that stopped him from killing himself, because he had really bad depression after some of the decisions that he had to make. So he actually had a pseudonym that he painted under, and so he exhibited and did all that sort of thing. And his niece still runs a lot of his paintings are in her house. So you can actually go and see them, but none of them are under his name. So I think it's really important to be true to yourself, to not let people bully you, to be strong. You can still be nice, but be strong. And it's okay to be a girl, and it's okay to be silly, and it's okay to be happy. And I had a lot of people when I was growing up that, you know, they used to go, "Oh my God, are you stupid?" You know, because I just laugh a lot and I'm happy.
Aww.
And people used to, I know, that was a bit cute.
I know, really cute.
I know. Thanks for saying that. And yeah, people used to, you know, sort of try to bully me a little bit, you know. But look, for goodness sake, yeah, get out,
Yes,
get a pen
Martin.
in your hand, get off the PlayStation, get out in nature, take a pen. All you need is a piece of paper and a pen, and that's all you need. And you can do anything. You can change the world, and you know what? You feel better. It beats depression.
Cool. That's great.
It makes people happy. Makes you happy.
That's awesome.
Game
That's
into
awesome.
that.
Okay, over to Felicity. Advice for the younger generation investigating their own art.
Investigating, magic and fairies are real, and you can create magic yourself.
Yes.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because I've run my whole business like that for 15 years once I left the education department, because they were trying to tell me I couldn't tell children that.
I'm with you.
And like just for you know, be confident. Confidence, what someone told me once, is very gold quote: confidence out trumps competence. And we see it in
say
society.
that again. Sorry, is that okay?
Confidence out trumps confidence. Sorry, confidence out trumps competence.
Yes.
So, and it's true. It's like you see people out there that are just confident doing their thing, and they might just be able to play 3 chords, and they're just giving it, and their vibe is so good that people love it. And these amazing musicians going, man, like, why isn't anyone getting into my thing? And I know this from experience, because for like at least 5 to 10 years of my career, I was so anxious and nervous playing all the time. And when I just stopped giving suddenly I just played for myself and just played to make myself happy. And suddenly what everyone was getting was like, oh, you just give so much in your performance. Like, that's the irony. It was like, because they can feel you're giving that love and acceptance to yourself, so they feel that love and acceptance. Don't, like, other people's eyes are your cage. That is a quote from Absolutely Fabulous. And
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Other people's eyes are your cage.
Are you a cage, sweetie?
Yeah.
True.
That's
Right.
awesome. The unicorns told me one time, if you can see it in your mind, you can make it happen.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
The unicorns are right.
And also, don't watch TV. Burn your TV. Just like play, create, meditate, and play guitar. Just get rid of the TV.
Good.
But keep the laptop.
Yeah.
But if you can dream it, you can achieve it. So maybe Sean.
Yes,
Yeah.
Veronica.
Sean, words of wisdom.
I'd never give up.
Yes.
As much as you can, never give up. Just and keep going. And like me being a late bloomer as a guitarist, and I was surrounded by phenomenal players, and they'd been playing for years prior. And like, I didn't pick up a guitar and start playing until I was like 17. And where I stand now as a guitar player, I'm very good at what I do. But I didn't give up. And I kept going. And I still stand back at times and look and think, how did I get here? But I know how I got here, because I never gave up. And that's, I think that's one of those things. Don't give up on yourselves, and don't give up on people that are doing these things as well. Always be there for them. And I was told by my classical teacher, because he originally started teaching me rock guitar, and I just didn't get it. How he was teaching, I just didn't get it. But one thing he did say to me was, always get with people that are better players than you, because you will you'll instinctively learn from those people.
Yes.
So everyone's got a gift to give, and that means that's something that you can take. And I said to Michelle on our couch, when people say you have a gift, it is a gift because you give gifts.
Yes.
If that kind of makes sense, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, it does.
so everyone else, people that have gifts, they're there to give and accept them and take them and share as much as possible.
Yep.
And be
Yeah,
happy.
Sean.
Be happy.
Yes.
Here.
And Michelle, what's some
Words of
advice?
wisdom.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. I think be true to yourself.
Yep.
Your
Yeah.
authentic self. Follow your own passion. Don't follow other people's passions because you think that's what you want to do. You have to really stop, take a good look at yourself, because that's where the true happiness lies. It really does. And I've only just discovered that now at the age of 29.
Oh my God, how old are you?
I know. I know.
really young for
Amazing.
your age.
I know. That's right, sweetie. That's right, sweetie. That's right. Yeah.
It'll be all right.
That's right. Yeah, but follow your true passion. But you have to find out. You have to. What are you doing, Doug? All right.
Everyone's got the best mugs.
I've got my own mug too. Follow your true passion, like that. That was
So
you know,
does Sean.
I was talking about the tambourine that time. It was actually here. It was at the Parkwood Tavern. We used to call it pick up at the Parkwood. Pick up at the Parkwood Tavern. And my friend Nat's playing on there with my friend Heath and Alison, and I nearly had a bit of a tussle with someone on the dance floor because I wanted the tambourine and she wanted to take it with me. And that was at the Parkwood. And then I get this for Christmas.
Should have seen what. Have you told everybody? Have you told everybody about your triangle incident yet, Michelle?
Which one? My friend,
incident.
No, we'll leave that one for the next episode. Leave that one for the next episode.
Oh, we've got to come back
Another
now,
one.
Doug, because I want to hear it.
She's been ready to do back shop reference.
You're great, Denny.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
But I was just going to say that.
Missed it.
Sorry. Hang on, Jenny. Here we go. Sorry. There we go. You're all great. Thanks for sharing.
No, the other one.
Thank
buy
you,
a
Jenny.
mug.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks, Jenny.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Thank you.
She's been. And
You are too, Jenny.
buy a mug and you bona fide shredder. Thanks, man. Yeah. Cool. But I just want to say that I think that doing art of any kind of what do I call it, genre of being an artist will help you understand life in itself, because you always have to suck at something, so when I'm learning some really strange when I mean not very good. Oh my God, seriously. Let me choose some better
I
words.
can't hear you.
You always have to be not very good at something, okay? So you're always learning to be better and better.
You always have to suck at something.
What? I'm going back to my zucchini.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's the best.
Sorry, Jenny.
Oh my God, Teresa.
Sorry, Jenny. Sorry,
You're just
Doug.
taking the mickey out of the host, mate.
Sorry, Doug.
Totally fine. It's totally fine. But I'm just saying that, but learning the discipline, like it's a great discipline actually doing any kind of art, because it's actually a tool for processing other things besides what we're talking about.
Yes.
So, yeah, so it's actually a kinesthetic experience. You have to physically do it, because most people just look and you just look at things and just listen to things, but it's a completely different ball game if you actually do it. So, try riding a motorcycle by watching YouTube videos. It's a different experience.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
That's right.
Yeah,
I thought that was surfing. I watched because I only started learning how to surf the last 3 years, and I watched a video and it says how to surf in 30 minutes. I went and got a surfboard. Or weren't they? They were liars, let me tell you.
I know. It's really hard.
Oh, man.
No freedom without discipline.
Yes.
So, oh man, copying it left, right, and centre. Actually, that sounds worse. Oh my god. So anyway,
I'm sorry, this is my influence. It's the lawlessness. It can't be helped.
Yay!
Be
So-
free.
You can be
Any-
lawless and I'll
Good.
be frank.
Yes.
any closing comments from the panel? Anyone?
Yeah, just
Thank
don't give
you.
up. Like,
Yep. And thank you, Doug, for
Thank you,
creating
Doug.
this platform. And thank you, Sean
Thanks,
and
Doug.
Felicity and Teresa for coming on.
Thanks, Sean.
It's awesome. Just
Thanks,
stay
thank
true to
you.
yourselves, everyone. Be authentic.
Oh, Michelle,
Your true
you're
authentic
amazing.
self.
And
Who was that?
Pointing at me.
He's an
Yes.
amazing Gold Coast saxophonist, Wesley Kingston. Hi, Wesley.
Wesley's-
All right.
Oh my lord. I'm creating the gherkins. I actually love gherkins. Yeah, eating actually doesn't matter.
yeah, no,
Yeah, okay. Let's leave that there.
So,
yeah, butter.
Teresa, any parting comments, Teresa?
Look, just don't listen to the people who who tell you that you can't do something.
Mhm.
Yes.
Don't be afraid
Yes,
of black
absolutely.
space because it's your friend. Just draw one thing every day
Yes.
Felicity?
and love yourself.
Yep.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. And Felicity, parting comment?
Yes, you need discipline, but you also need silence and space. So take that time to be silent, still, meditate, and also do the doingness. And that's where the power will come from, the stillness and the work. So you can't have the hard work and burn out. You need to have that stillness every day. And then what you put out is potent. And also thank you very much to all you amazing individuals. Such a beautiful conversation.
And
And
I
all the
think,
people watching.
yeah, you too, Felicity.
Someone
Yes,
just
thank
said
you.
that you just you had the most rock and roll cup. That sucks. Actually, no pun intended. No.
What's wrong with the tambourine?
Come on.
What the hell? Jeez.
Sean, get
That's
yours.
rock and roll.
And Sean.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So,
can't
Sean-
see yours properly, Sean.
Sean.
What is yours?
It's a cup that I got from the LA airport. So I was
Yes.
actually over there. So I sort
Yes,
of
it's
fly around the
beautiful
joint
colours.
and sing
Lovely.
at weddings and all that sort of stuff. So
Love it.
So, any closing point, Sean, at all?
when it comes to we talk about balance, and I
We
think
love you, Veronica.
Good on
the
you.
balance comes with us as artists. There's people that can do what we do, and then there's people that don't do what we do, and that's the balance. And there's people that can do. So with music, for instance, and I use this all the time, people come up and say, "Oh, I can't do what you do. I wish I could." Doesn't mean they can't, but that's the balance. We provide the half of what the other half don't do, and it brings us together. So there's the two halves that you have, and it brings us together. So it's always something that it's always in the back of my mind. If I look at someone and admire that, I'm admiring it because it completes. I'm there for that purpose of taking that in. And I get impressed by that, and I take it on board, and that's what I do, and it's the same with you guys. It's even the conversations we're having, I can hear the experiences and stuff that you have, which I don't have, but that's the balance, and that's what we go through with life. We balance out with everybody. There's something that balances everybody.
And there's enough room
Absolutely.
for all of us. So just
Yes.
because
That's right.
you're a musician and you're a musician and you're a musician doesn't mean that you can't all still be, because you're all
That's
different.
right. Mhm.
So
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what you were saying, when you see something you admire, you see it, you got it. If you see it, it must reflect something in you as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you
The
go,
mirror.
oh, Veronica, I love you.
Oh, thanks, Veronica. Yeah, Veronica.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Sean. And I might pay to get in touch with Sean. They're looking for a visual artist. There you go. Cool.
Oh,
Yes.
Veronica's going to be on the show soon, so she's an
Cool.
artist. So I might have to hit you up as well, Teresa. Yeah. So Michelle, parting words. Lucky last.
I get more parting words.
Oh well, second.
Second, well, just like I was saying before, just truly follow what's in your heart. and don't listen
Yes,
and don't
Jenny.
don't listen to the don't listen to the naysayers.
Yep.
Don't listen to the people that try to bring you down or have a bit of envy or jealousy. That happens sometimes. And just fight through that and follow your dream. Don't let anyone block you.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Well said. Okay,
Yes.
well, everyone stay,
you,
or
Doug?
everyone, parting words. Stay away from cucumbers and zucchinis. But
And Nelson
No,
says, bye.
And
Bye,
see,
Nelson. Bye, Nelson.
but I think
So cute.
I think parting words. I think this. I mean, even this
Sean's gone.
connection.
I'm back.
There we go.
Nice
Is
one.
this connection? No, that's okay. That's okay. Actually, even this connection is a product of me being passionate. So through my music,
Thank
I
you.
made a connect with
you,
Michelle.
Doug.
Someone actually, and now look at this. It keeps
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
It keeps
True.
manifesting
Yeah.
because
been
I
so
love
good,
what I
Doug.
do. Yeah. So
It's beautiful what you do, Doug. I had no idea about this thing, and it's
Yeah,
just
it's great.
amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
yeah, that's cool. Thank you. I would love to do it all again soon if you're all keen. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
bring
same.
a computer next time.
I'm gonna bring some more props.
Yes.
Me too.
I'm gonna bring
It's not
Come
like
to my house and do it.
It's not that. It's not that kind of show, Michelle.
Oh, well, we'll have a later time slot. It'll be a later time slot. It's all right. Yeah.
So
Oh, dear.
please stay on the line. And when you watch it back, Teresa, there was a few Disney moments. You look like you're in Frozen. Like so.
There were some great faces.
Please
Great
hold up
faces.
your mug and wave, and we're out. So here we go. Roll the credits.
Go the tambourine.
Yeah. All right, cool. I'll just stay on the line. Here we go. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and all the guests will actually come and put all their socials on there. So please like and subscribe and share and all that kind of stuff. So if you have anything else that's really cool, you want some noise made about it, actually, I always keep forgetting. I go to the trouble of making all these like cool little moving things, and I keep forgetting to put them up. So that's my YouTube channel, and there's the thing down the bottom. So please check that out, and I will see you again. Oh, we got some more comments. Lucky last all the way from America, Jenny. See you again soon. Actually, I'll see you at 10 o'clock. I've got a live stream in London.